Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a collective reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So if you would like to channel a specific message from the reading today, I do recommend liking the video and also double check to be sure that you are subscribed to the channel. By liking and subscribing, these are forms of energy transfer, and this allows me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. So I'm going to start today by shuffling the Energy Oracle Cards deck. What do those listening to this reading need to know at this time? Okay, so the first two cards that we have here are the Door to Romance and Woman Holding a Heart in the upright position. Right away, what I'm getting from these cards is that for some of you listening, there is someone connected to your energy that wants to open some kind of door romantically with you, and who also wants to communicate with you that they feel you are the one holding their heart. Now, this is all sitting on the third eye chakra, which is the seat of intuition. And what this tells me is your intuition is already aware of the way that this person is feeling. You can already sense that there is someone here who is, I want to say, like smitten by you or infatuated by you, even if they're being very silent about it when it comes to their words or their 3D communication. This is someone who has tried holding back a lot of this overwhelming spiritual magnetic pulling they've been feeling towards you with Door to Spirit reversed, and possibly someone who's been trying to resist the way that connecting with you has begun to awaken them spiritually. But the key here is there is no holding back this energy for long. This person is feeling unable to use their traditional coping mechanisms or ways to kind of hold back their emotions. I feel like I am connecting with a masculine energy here who is typically one that is capable of keeping his heart closed, keeping his energy very stoic, his expression kind of very stoic, not really showing necessarily a lot of emotion externally. But when it comes to you, it feels like this flood of emotion that can't be held back. I keep seeing someone wearing glasses, so that could be relevant for someone. So I want to know more about the masculine that I'm channeling into here. By the way, of course, I do channel many different people, situations, and connections through these readings. So always only take what does connect with you personally in an intuitive way. And of course, this is interesting. I'm getting rest and rejuvenation reversed, and I'm hearing restlessness, urgency. So if you are someone who connects as the divine feminine listening here, you may be specifically feeling some discomfort or some strange physical sensations around the sacral chakra. This is the lower abdomen area. I'm also getting you might be picking up some of these sensations in your solar plexus, the stomach region as well. Of course, always explore any medical causes for these types of sensations with a doctor first. But I'm feeling that for many of you, these could have an energetic root cause here. Meaning that in this scenario, this masculine here is getting this almost like pit in their stomach or butterflies in their stomach kind of feeling. It's like a blend of excitement and fear, if I'm being honest, which sound really strange to be going together, but it's almost like this person is equal parts scared, like terrified, scared, and excited at the idea of you and this connection. I'm also picking up that there is a really strong pushing and pulling happening between your sacral chakras at this time, meaning there is this longing for each other, this magnetism. This person may be sending you a lot of sensual energy as well. So if you're randomly getting flashes of being near this person, touching them, kissing them, being close to them, this could be because they are sending you that sacral chakra kind of sensual energy, really longing to physically be around you. I just hear someone saying, like, I just want to touch you. I want to be close to you. This is especially happening late at night. And what I'm getting is you, Divine Feminine, whoever I'm speaking to here, you're actually picking up on that sacral energy this person is sending you. And it almost at times might feel like it's pummeling you. Like you, again, could get these uncomfortable solar plexus or sacral chakra sensations. You might get these flashes of imagery of this person holding you, kissing you, being near you physically. You might feel this really deep and intense sense of longing for this person that might even cause you to feel restless at times. This might actually keep you awake at night. Because again, I do sense a lot of times when this person sends you energy, it does seem to be later in the evening. If you do keep in communication with this person via text or phone call, even when you're at a distance, I'm getting that you are the last thing that this person thinks about, and that actually if you do communicate at night and they say good night to you, for example, this person actually stays up a lot later than you might realize, than just thinking heavily about you, daydreaming about you. So you might believe that this person is sleeping when really they are sending you a lot of this energy. And that is why your guides, Divine Feminine, are really coming in to remind you to be very self-honoring at this time. Do your best to really maintain that energetic center of gravity with the angel of balance in the upright position. And also do your best to make choices on a daily basis, moment by moment, that are really self-respecting and self-honoring. Because the thing about the amount of energy this masculine is sending you is that it can actually tempt you out of your power, because you are highly empathic. So as you're picking up on them pulling on you so heavily, it might cause you at times to actually feel emotionally a little bit ungrounded or even out of control. And this may be something that's very unusual for you. It may be very confusing for the Divine Feminine I'm speaking to here, because you may be someone who is typically very emotionally self-regulated at this point in time. So you typically have a very strong handle on your emotions. You're very centered, grounded, connected to your inner world. But something about this person just really shakes you up emotionally. And so we're going to dive deeper into this, but I do feel that there is some kind of pre-existing energetic bond. When I say pre-existing, I mean that there is a lot of past life history here that's established this kind of energetic bond between your souls that causes you to feel one another in a stronger way, and therefore to be affected by each other's energy. It's almost like if you're feeling uncomfortable emotionally, or at times even physically, you're actually getting this from each other. It's like the uncomfortableness of the two of you being physically apart when your souls are really pulling towards each other, really longing to be together. I'm also picking up there's a lot of pushing and pulling energetically happening in general between you and this person. This is happening at many different levels and layers. So the mental level, the emotional level, the energetic level. This pushing and pulling is going to feel like sometimes you are going to feel like almost this insatiable need to connect with this person, to talk to them, to be around them. Whereas at other times, you're going to feel this desire to kind of like pull back your energy, feeling like this is just getting too overwhelming, maybe even scared of how this person is causing you to feel so much intense emotion. And this other person is feeling the same way. Again, there's this pushing and pulling happening here that is really going both directions, and your energies are really playing off of one another. But the ironic thing is, I feel that very little, if any of this, is actually being communicated. Even if you are in communication physically with this person, I feel this pushing and pulling is something that you don't talk about. I'm hearing keeping it light. So in your actual conversations, if there are physical 3D conversations, it seems like the two of you may actually be keeping those conversations very light. You might be using humor, you might be staying very on the surface, and yet I'm hearing everything you say holds a deeper meaning. It's almost like your words are light, your conversation is light, but the meaning there holds so much depth. Something I'm getting extremely strongly is that this is a type of connection that is breaking you both open to depths of feeling in the heart center that neither of you have really experienced otherwise or outside of this connection. And yet both of you are kind of wondering, am I going crazy? Am I just getting lost in some kind of delusion? That word delusion is coming up really strongly. Like both of you to some extent are wondering if you're delusional for feeling the way that you're feeling about the other. But the ironic thing is that fear of being crazy or being delusional is actually mirrored here by this person. So you're both equally worried that you are rushing into things too quickly, or that you're delusional, or that you're feeling too much for the other person without really fully understanding why. And the reason why is because, well, we have the yin yang card. You guys know this is my number one twin flame card in the deck. So for many of you, this is a twin flame situation. If not a twin flame, a very high level soulmate. This is someone that you share a really intense soul bond with. Now, the fact this card is upright tells me that the two of you are really strongly coming into alignment. There's a really positive spread of cards actually coming out here, with the yin yang card representing this powerful soul connection, the contract card reversed representing one or both of you, most likely both of you, coming out of a really heavy period of time that I'm calling here a karmic cycle in your life. Now, this karmic cycle may or may not involve another person, but the strongest word I get in connection with this karmic cycle is loneliness. So if this karmic cycle involves a karmic relationship with another person, this relationship itself caused you to feel, or caused this person to feel, very isolated and very lonely. But again, this could just be a karmic cycle of loneliness in general, not really feeling like you were able to connect with anyone, kind of wondering if you would be able to find this divine partnership with someone. And I'm hearing you entered each other's lives like a whirlwind. It's something that seems to happen very suddenly and very fast. Of course, for some of you listening, I could be speaking predictively. So this could be someone that you will meet moving into the future. But I do feel that your physical connection, which I really want to call a re-meeting, it's like even if you're meeting for the first time in this incarnation, you have such a soul history. It almost feels like a reunion, like reuniting with each other in this particular lifetime. And your souls are overjoyed at connecting with each other, even if your conscious human selves are questioning it or are feeling really unsure. And I feel like that joy in each other's presence is something that is so evident and obvious on both sides. It, again, can't really be held back. It can't be hidden. It's just almost overflowing through you, through your being. That's actually a major way that you will recognize this person if you haven't met them yet, or that your soul did recognize them if you have met in this lifetime physically. It's the feeling of joy that doesn't seem to make sense, but it's like you're just overwhelmed with happiness, seeing that person, connecting with that person. Honestly, I wouldn't even say just seeing them, laying eyes on them. It's like this feeling of, yes, I've been looking for you. I finally found you. And yet there is this really heavy cycle that I feel the both of you are leaving behind here, almost a sort of mirroring. I feel that to some extent you both have had connections recently that have left you feeling even lonelier than before, or you've had connections that I don't want to say they've become boring to your soul, but at least on the masculine side of this, if not the feminine as well, there is this sense that the masculine has been very bored by his recent romantic relationships, whether those were long-term or whether they were flings. I feel for many of them, they may have been out in the dating world. And again, just feeling this sense of monotony, like everyone and everything felt like the same. But when they saw you, they immediately felt that something was different. It's almost like this person was unconsciously seeking you out, unconsciously manifesting you, divine feminine, into their life. And that's actually part of why, if you have met this person or seen this person, when you looked into their eyes, divine feminine, you began to feel this irresistible pulling towards them. The thing I'm almost getting from this reading is that they energetically pursued you, but you may have looked like the chaser or the pursuer in the physical world. This is a really strange message, but it almost feels as though the masculine here, their soul had been longing for you, had been seeking you really intensely for a long time, and that they actually called in the exact timing in the exact circumstances to cause the two of you to be at the same place at the same time. And in that moment, when you looked at them, because you are the more empathic one, divine feminine, you felt them trying to pull you into their orbit. But the thing is, this person may have not shown that through actions, through words. I'm calling it them energetically pursuing you because they were subconsciously or consciously really manifesting you into their life, but you were the one who responded to the pull. So in the physical world, it may have looked like you showed interest in them or wanted to meet them or connect with them or pursue them, which is part of why you, divine feminine, might feel a little bit like you're going crazy, because you feel as though you are the one pursuing them, and yet the pulling you felt towards them was running much deeper than just your own desires. It was actually this masculine pulling on your energy. Again, I keep saying, trying to pull you into their orbit here. With the Sun card in the upright position, I hear a masculine here saying, I wanted you the moment I saw you. It's like the moment they looked at you, they not only wanted to connect with you, but they almost instantaneously wanted you to be part of their life long term. But in the physical world, they seem to be playing it very coy. There may even be some type of a separation here, because we do have the Two of Cups reversed. Now, the Two of Cups traditionally is a really powerful twin flame card, particularly for twin flame unions. So again, if this isn't a twin flame, there is absolutely a strong potential for a sacred soulmate union here as well. But ironically, what I'm getting is there is that powerful potential, and this person did manifest you in, but it's almost like now that they've manifested you in, I hear them saying, I didn't expect to get this far. It's like they don't quite know how to proceed or what to do now that they've made it to the point of actually manifesting you into their life. Because what they may not have realized is that with the Judgment card, by manifesting you into their life, you carry this very powerful spiritual energy. You have the power to awaken and activate others. So manifesting you isn't just about manifesting a love relationship with you. If they want to connect with you long term in some kind of union, they are going to also have to do the spiritual work to go through this awakening. They could connect with lower vibrational feminine energies quite easily. In fact, I feel this is part of why they were bored in the past, because they were connecting with lower vibrational feminine energies in a way that was easy but very monotonous and didn't really challenge them to grow or to change. And at a soul level, they really desired the kind of powerful spiritual activation, awakening, and transformation that connecting with a truly awakened, conscious, divine feminine would bring into their life. And yet their human self may have not quite been ready or prepared for what that has now entailed. They are now beginning to feel the full force of that spiritual awakening and activation effect that you, divine feminine, are having upon them. And again, that's where those equal parts fear and excitement are coming up here. Specifically through this part of their awakening that you have sparked within them, they're really being pushed to overcome their limitations, overcome something limited about their mindset or some kind of preset judgment or series of judgments within their mind by using their intuition as a guide instead. So this is going to look very differently depending on the masculine coming through here. But for many of them, I feel that they, at the soul level, are a very ancient soul, someone who actually has some kind of psychic ability that maybe they've been repressing, very strong potential to be a powerful, awakened, divine masculine spiritual leader if they are to leave behind this karmic cycle of their past and really align with their highest timeline, with the contract card reversed and the temple path upright. However, in order to do this, they are going to have to begin radically tapping into their intuition, whereas in the past, I feel that they were very much led by logic and reason. There may even be something very specific here that this person has artificially been somewhat closed-minded about that is actually inhibited your physical full reunion or connection in some way. So for example, there may be some cultural difference, a blockage, a barrier, difference in belief system. Maybe this person is very skeptical of soul connections, of spiritual things. But again, this feels like an artificial closed-mindedness, whatever this is that might be preventing the two of you from fully coming together. It feels like something that was programmed into them in this life because of possibly how they were raised, how they were programmed by society, and something that their guides are really pushing them to overcome, again, by tapping into that deeper level of their intuition. With adjacent possibilities in the heart chakra in the upright position, I feel that they're being pushed to open their mind and open their heart, but not only to open their mind and heart, but also to be able to communicate that open-mindedness and open-heartedness. I feel that sometimes as a coping mechanism, as almost a way to protect themselves from possibly being hurt or rejected, this person may keep things very on the surface when what they're feeling or thinking is a lot deeper. So for example, intellectually, this masculine may be thinking very deeply about something, but they might pretend that their thoughts are very shallow or on the surface. When it comes to the heart space, they may be feeling a really intense depth of emotion, but because of, I'm hearing toxic masculinity, how they've been raised to believe that it is somehow weak as a masculine to show emotion, they may pretend that their emotions are actually a lot more on the shallow end than they really are. And again, this might confuse you, divine feminine, because you are so intuitive that you can actually see right through this person. You can see that they're a lot more open-minded than they let on to be. You can see that they feel a lot more deeply and intensely than they may share with words. And yet this person may have the tendency to deflect. So when you might get close to this depth of how they're really feeling or what they're really thinking, they might use something like humor or change the subject to something lighter, or even just not respond, because it's almost like they are overwhelmed by the way that you see them so intensely and so clearly. I'm hearing a masculine say, Are you a mind reader? Are you psychic? And of course, Divine Feminine, you are highly psychic in the sense that you're very capable of reading energy. You are highly conscious, so others are very transparent to you. You're able to see through others to their true heart, to their true intention very clearly. So in the extended version of the reading, I will be channeling more into this masculine energy, what he is really thinking and feeling beneath the surface, because again, I feel that his true thoughts and feelings carry a lot more depth than what he may be portending or portraying on the surface, particularly because he may be using deflection to avoid sharing about those deeper thoughts or feelings. But Divine Feminine, you are already able to see through that. So hopefully what we share in the extended Patreon reading will really just be a confirmation of what you already are intuitively aware of. So the link to the extended reading on Patreon is in the pinned comment and description box under the video. But for now, I am going to reshuffle the cards, and I want to channel a bit more into your energy specifically, Divine Feminine. In recent readings, we've had a lot of masculine energy coming through whenever I channel into your aura, your energy, and this is because there's been a lot of energetic transference lately, particularly between you and possibly a few different strong masculine energies from your past, present, or future. Now, for some of you, these different energies could be the same person on different timelines, in different energetic forms, their unhealed version, their healed version, etc. But here we have the Tower card. Wow, what an intense card. So I'm getting that with the eclipse season we are going through, you, Divine Feminine, may feel as though emotionally, energetically, things are in a lot of upheaval. Even if in the physical world things may look somewhat stagnant, or it might not look like a lot is changing very quickly physically, and yet emotionally and energetically, you may have this jarring sense. This may even feel like uneasiness or restlessness to you at times. You may have different sleep patterns, different eating patterns. You might be feeling just a bit energetically disrupted. It may feel like a lot of chaos to you right now. When it comes to some major project or endeavor in your life, there may be some fears of something not being completed, or even some backsliding with the World card in the reverse position. You may be afraid that something in your life is either backsliding or stagnating. This could be in work, this could be a romantic situation. However, here we have the Chariot. This is a resounding yes card, and I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but I do feel a Divine Feminine who has been in this state of feeling a lot of upheaval, possibly seeing something stagnate, fearing that something is backsliding, who has been asking her guides, is this something I can do? Is this something I can overcome? And if you've been asking that kind of a question, I feel a resounding yes coming to you as an answer from your guides. And the Chariot card says, as an affirmation, no obstacles will stop me now. It's almost like there's an element of illusion here to these things that feel like upheaval or that feel like stagnation. This is actually you breaking down energetically these final energetic blockages or obstacles that may have been standing between you and your desired goal or outcome. And I see it's very important for you to keep the focus, to do your best, to hold your center of gravity, even amidst the chaos you may be feeling emotionally or energetically. Okay, what else can I channel? I'm getting the number 777 here for you as well. Yeah, I see that if you are in a period of time where things are feeling very stuck, or you're getting a lot of a sense of upheaval emotionally, we do have the Eight of Swords reverse representing freedom, release, having sudden clarity I'm getting as well. So if something's felt very confusing for a long time, that might be almost like a fog is lifting around that subject very soon for you. I see some kind of freedom. I'm hearing emotional freedom. So you may have felt caught in bondage to something emotionally, whether it was a person, a situation, a past version of yourself. And it's almost as though you are being fully ejected from that previous timeline. So of course, as you are ejected from that out of alignment timeline, you're going to feel a little bit chaotic, a little bit ungrounded temporarily, but ultimately this is actually going to fully align you with a brand new higher vibrational timeline that is going to set a trajectory to victory for you, whatever that looks like for you. No longer being held back by those obstacles emotionally or materially that may have plagued you in the past, because we have the Six of Wands here really representing a triumph. This also can represent fame, getting a lot of support, even being a celebrity or someone of high status. If this is something you desire, if you are someone who is in the public eye or who desires to be in the public eye, I feel that everything you are going through now is actually energetically prepping you for that kind of success, to grow that material support, to be in the spotlight in some sense. That will be applying to some listening. But one major thing that's going to have to be overcome with the Three of Cups reversed is that you may be feeling both very different and possibly isolated socially and platonically from people around you. You were meant to stand out. Whoever I'm speaking to here, if you feel very different from the people that are doing things around you, from people socially, if you feel socially isolated, it's actually because in a sense you've been selected, or your soul has selected this path that is very unique but also has a very high reward associated with it, in the sense that you will be able to achieve a kind of spiritual empowerment and a kind of level of heightened vibration that most are never capable of achieving, because they are so tied in socially to what other people think and say about them. And what I'm getting is that in this phase of your life, as whatever you are doing in the physical world, particularly for those of you who are sharing online, who might be beginning to be in the public eye or sharing on social media, who have a business, whatever you're doing, it feels like something you're doing is making waves. It may be attracting attention from people, both positive and negative. Some of this could even look like people gossiping about you, people talking about you. And I feel your guides saying you have to become comfortable with people reacting to your energy, because you are now exuding this very powerful energy. But I do again see this immense success from continuing to have the courage to overcome that fear of what anyone else is thinking of you or of what you're creating in this world, and continuing to shine your beautiful energy, your beautiful light regardless. Because with the Wheel of Fortune upright, I also see you personally, Divine Feminine, being in a very lucky energy. When I say lucky though, of course, there's really no such thing as luck. It's all about energetic alignment. This is really you aligning with a higher timeline through the upheaval that you have been willing to experience and undergo in order to align with that higher version of yourself. So wow, very powerful messages coming through personally on your energy, Divine Feminine. In the extended version of the reading, I will be channeling more messages from your spirit guides, your higher self, as well as channeling into any energies that may be attached to you at this time. This is a really interesting portion of the Patreon readings where we tap into anyone that might be sending you energy, might be thinking about you, or could be connected to you spiritually or mentally in some way. So if you do feel guided to the extended reading, the link to that is in the pinned comment and description box under the video. But for now, I am going to be sharing one final card from the Rumi Oracle, and this card is Whirling Goddess. Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. Rumi. And the guidebook also says, this oracle brings you a message. You are at the point of growth where your mind can hold you back, rather than urge you forward. If you have, like so many, used your mind to support you, to shore up your sense of self in the world, and to gain a sense of certainty about how the world works, then this is no easy leap. It will seem as though you are being asked to pass through the keyhole. Of course, your mind will stop and argue for all the reasons why the door should be opened instead of remaining closed, making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be. But this is the mind in resistance. You are being asked to dance rather than understand, to lay the thoughts to rest and to come alive. It is the bravest, most trusting soul that dares put the mind to one side and say, "Tonight we dance, my heart and I, in the great rousing music of the beloved's beating heart, and I will not miss one step," and to awaken the next day and do that all over again and again and again. Know nothing and dance, sweet soul, for all will unveil itself to you in perfect harmony and timing. Your heart shall create the steps in response to the music of the spheres happening now, alive and spontaneous and free. So that feels like a really beautiful place to close this reading. I just want to take a moment and say I am so appreciative to all of you here. You are all co-creators of this reading simply by sharing your unique, powerful energy and frequency with the reading today. If anything here did connect with you in a personal way, I would love to hear from you in the comments under the video. And of course, if you would now like to continue with me over in our beautiful soul tribe on Patreon, I will be leaving a link to that extended reading under the video. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love today, wishing you a beautiful start to your week. Take care, and I will connect with you here again in Wednesday's reading.